I arrived in the first city was Mumbai, so Bombay, and I loved it. Indian food was never unfamiliar to me.
Okay.
But it was more the culture, like the way things were done, the streets, how crazy. It's like an organized chaos in the street, right? Like you walk around and you've got, I don't know, a cow, and then you've got a lorry, you've got also taxis, you've got people crossing the road, you've got dogs, you know, everything all happens on the street, and it's honestly, it's really fascinating.
In the end, that I have to see how I can stay here, because of Indian is not bad at all. Indian is the country that you get to learn a lot for the culture, and then now, yeah, I have to stay here because I'm married with Indian.
Are you married?
Yeah,
yeah,
and then
Maharashtrian, which
Maharashtrian
is
from,
yeah.
Hi guys, welcome to Lunchbox. This is a fortnightly segment in our newspaper, which is Midday. What we basically do is get two people who have a little in common and a little uncommon between themselves together to have lunch and see what transpires and write about that. So we have with us today Seefah, who is originally from Thailand, but she has been in India for the past 8 years and she has a restaurant here. And along with her, we have Diana Chan, who was the winner of MasterChef Australia 2017. Hi guys.
Thanks for having me.
So tell me a little bit about yourselves, guys. Like, I know, for example, Seefah, I know a little bit about your journey in Bombay. I know that you were at Four Seasons, about, of course, you met Karan, who's also a city-based chef, and of course, you guys are married. But I don't really know much about what happened before that, like when you were in Thailand. So tell me a little bit about that.
I become a chef after graduate. It's not a chef, but yes, helper.
Okay.
So from after graduate, I just start working at 5-star hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And my luck is I have a lot of good chefs like to train me. So I grow up quite very fast. So after that, I transferred to China.
Mm-hmm.
I working at China at Chengdu for 3.5 years.
Okay.
Yeah, and after that I coming here, working at the Four Seasons for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, right, in the end of the life, you need something out of the box.
Mm-hmm.
So we decided, me and Kalan, to open the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's why, you know, we open from small, and then after 2 years we open little bigger one, and then now I slow down.
How many seaters is it?
So when we opening a 2.5 years back, it's just 20-seater.
Yeah, no.
The concept only like delivery, but in the end that in-house demand is very good. So after that, now we are 52.
Right.
52.
It's more than double, almost triple.
And please come before you go back.
Yeah. I would love to.
Yeah.
And Diana, you had a pretty sort of a winding sort of a way. You were a chartered accountant, but you spent a fair amount of your time, your life in Malaysia, right?
Yes.
Growing up in Malaysia, but you only went to Australia for your higher studies.
Yes.
And so, I mean, what made you suddenly think that you want to sort of get into, like, participate in a cooking competition?
For me, it was just by chance, really. I've always loved food. I've grown up in like a family that everything revolved around like the dinner table. So going from my mom to my dad, my brother, my sister, everybody is a good cook in my family and loves cooking and food in general. So it was only natural that moving to Australia, I kind of had to cook for myself, being a student. So I moved there at the age of 18, and I sort of adopted, learning how to cook food that I love from back home. And I guess, I was in a really good job. I was working for a company called Deloitte, and I was given the opportunity to just apply. I always watched MasterChef for like the previous 8 years, and I thought, you know what, I'm at a position in my career where I've done 5 years of corporate life. What's stopping me from moving into something different? Why not push myself or just go for it? Let's just see how. I didn't even think I would get into the competition, let alone win it, right? Like I didn't think that I would actually pass the auditions because I didn't know how hard it was or how you know, you watch these shows and like they're terrifying, like the things that they do. But then now I understand the process and how you become like from a home cook into more of a chef. You know, like how the training that you get within the show in 7 months is immense. You know,
right. And I think like I also wanted to know what was like the first day in India for you guys. Like I know of course you've come a long way from it, and this is your second visit, if I'm not wrong.
this is my third visit. Yeah,
okay.
so the first visit was June last year.
Okay.
I arrived in the first city was Mumbai, so Bombay, and I loved it. I was obviously. The food-wise, I'm not unfamiliar with because growing up in Malaysia, we have a lot of Southern Indian cooking. So a lot of like Tamil cooking. You know, that's predominantly the main. It's one of the major cuisines there. So Chinese, Indians, and Malay, and then you got subcultures within. But Indian food was never unfamiliar to me.
Okay.
But it was more the culture, like the way things were done, the streets, how crazy. It's like a organized chaos in the street, right? Like you walk around and you've got, I don't know, a cow, and then you've got a lorry, you've got also taxis, you've got people crossing the road, you've got dogs, you know, everything all happens on the street, and it's honestly, it's really fascinating. The produce is very different, and the people are so warm. So I think for me that was mainly the first thing that I sort of, you know, it really was a stark contrast, but very interesting. Yeah.
And what was your first day like, Seefah?
I remember that. So, see, like in Thailand or in China, we're more concerned about the food. And then I never have Indian food in my life before I come in.
Really?
Here.
Yeah, actually that's true because in Thailand you don't get a lot of Indian.
And in that time, Indian food still not famous in Thailand. But if you're talking about now Indian food everywhere in Thailand. Right, so I don't know anything about Indian. I don't know how to flavor. I don't know anything. So, but it's good luck for me that I'm working in the kitchen. I can cook for myself. Yeah, for 2 months I cry every day. Yeah, but in the end that I have to see how I can stay here because of Indian is not bad at all. Indian is the country that you get to learn a lot for the culture. You can see a lot of culture in Indian. That you will not get anywhere.
Right.
Like people still wear sari,
Right.
you know, still eat food by hand, right? You see that. I mean, time will adjust us to stay here, and then now, I have to stay here because I'm married with Indian. In the end.
Are you married?
Yeah, that.
Yeah, she married a Maharashtrian, which is like from Bombay.
Yeah. So now I have Indian already.
Yeah. So and you like Indian food from what I know.
So so after that, of course. You're a chef, you have to try everything. So one of my chef at Four Seasons, he keep me eating Indian food every day.
Okay.
You have to learn. You have to eat. You're a chef. Like, okay. So, and then now I love Indian. So I know like, I love butter chicken. But if too much masala, I still cannot eat that. You know? I have to eat something that
of course.
Yeah.
Have you guys actually visited each other's countries? Have you been to Thailand and have you been to Malaysia?
I've been Malaysia and Singapore.
Yeah.
Have you been to Thailand?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, so what did you guys sort of, what was the experience like? Is there like similarity? Are there overlaps?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think,
tell me about that.
I think like Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore, Vietnam have a lot of similarities.
Correct.
A lot of it coming from like China, coming passed down. So as it comes from China and it goes further down, like Laos, Cambodia, Thailand, Vietnam, the food becomes a little bit more spicier. Okay. As well, but like Thailand, it's all about like the balance of sweet, sour, and salty, right? Similar to Malaysia, like that's the whole balance. But the only difference with Malaysia is that there are 3 predominant cultures: Malay, Chinese, and Indian, and that's why the food is so diverse over there. Right. But in terms of a lot of the cooking styles, it's similar. Any curries, you make a paste. Anything, you start from like the scratch.
I mean, even the culture also.
The culture is very similar.
Yeah, almost similar.
Yeah.
Like how? Like is it just the food or like is it the tradition?
Even lifestyle, even the food. You know.
Yeah, I think geographically as well, because you get similar produce. So ultimately, you would end up cooking quite similar things. But also, I think, like you're saying, the culture. I think Buddhism is quite big
Correct.
in Thailand.
Thailand.
Buddhism is very big in Malaysia as well.
Yeah.
But in Malaysia, you've got like Christianity at the same time because of the Portuguese influence that came through into like similar to here Goa, but Malacca in Malaysia.
And people are very, very warm.
Yeah.
Same guys.
In both the places.
We like
yeah,
that.
I mean, everyone I know is going to Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, like at the drop of a hat. Like, I know 10 years back, it wasn't like people would save for many, many years to like go to perhaps like UK or US. That was the only thing. But like there's immense amount of exchange happening in terms of food, in terms of tourism. There's a lot of chefs coming. Seefah now is like a little bit of representative of both. I know you're working with the tourism board as well.
Yep.
So like, why do you think that is sort of happening? Like, what about what do you think from what you know about India with the little time you spent here, and of course you said you're exposed to it in Malaysia as well, and you've spent 8 years here. So based on what you guys know, why do you think people in India are looking towards going to these places, exploring Asia, so to speak, and vice versa? What's sort of attracting them to India?
Well, I think many reasons, but I think predominantly the world's getting richer. So India as a nation is getting richer. That allows travel. Just as many nations within Southeast Asia, as they're getting richer, it allows to travel. Also, there's a lot of like any previous sanctions or where you couldn't go and go to a Southeast Asian country. That's all. The barriers are all have been put down, so people are allowed to travel more. Infrastructure is better, more flights open, and I think just a general curious interest of it's so close. Why go to the UK or why go to Europe when you can fly 3 or 4 hours and get to, I don't know, what's a flight, 5 hours to Malaysia? No, more.
From
5,
here,
6 hours.
I think to Thailand for 4.5 hours.
Yeah.
So Thailand to Malaysia is around
an hour, depending on where it is. So like, you're
7
talking
hours,
a flight under 10 hours,
Yeah.
whereas you're going to UK, it's a lot longer. So, I think that's the main attraction.
Right. And what do you feel about
I
this?
feel like now Asia is more going up. Like, you get everything in Asian rather than you go to European. European not bad, of course, but because people getting bored. And then Asian food become now is
on trend.
On the trend.
It is.
It is on trend.
It really is. I mean, if you look at just Mumbai,
the street food, like street food in Asian, has become popular in the world.
People know so many things. Like I remember, like 10 years back, the only sort of things that we knew off the top of our head from these cuisines was what, like dim sums. There was the Chinese.
Yeah. I mean, like food. Thai food has actually done excellent in terms of being on the world map. Like Malaysian food, I can say safely, not just yet. But like Chinese food, you find Chinese food in every single country. You can find Chinese food in like Slovakia, for example. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's Chinatown in most countries. So it's so broad. And Thai food has done this really well as well. They've pretty much marked their stamp as a world cuisine.
Right.
Malaysia hasn't done that yet, but I think that's and this sort of like general interest of people like, I want to go to the source, because you're never going to get anything better than going to the actual source to try it. Like Indian food here is 10 times better than anywhere else.
Yeah. So same like Chef said, like now trend is turned back.
Yeah.
I mean, because of the street food, of course you love to try a molecular food or some beautiful thing, but in the end people love to enjoy something like authentic.
Yeah, close to their heart, authentic.
Yeah, like that. So you can eat that food every day.
Right. And I mean, a lot of like what you try to do with both your restaurants here had to do with serving authentic Thai food. So like, is that something that you've seen over the years? People open up to more? Like, do you think?
So I opened a restaurant 2.5 years back. When we opened that Thai food, people don't know much about the authentic Thai food.
Right.
I can say that. So, and then when I'm working in the hotel, I cannot put whatever I would love to do it, because of in the end you still have the boss say yes or no to you.
Yeah.
And now you can see, especially in Mumbai, you can see a lot of Thai and Japanese.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's good that I'm not looking people for competition, but I can see that now Thai food is growing more. Rather than even just 3 years back, like not. And then people know more about the authentic.
Right.
You know. So
Do you know anything about Malaysian food though? Do you cook it or like have you tried it?
you know, when I'm working at a hotel, so we don't have Malaysian chefs. So I have to cooking for Malaysian the consulate.
Yeah.
So they give me all the sauce, everything. So that I said okay, I will try myself because of the actually that what chef said that we always similar cooking.
Things like say like there's a dish in Malaysia called char kway teow. Probably one of the famous. Char kway teow. So it's like kway teow is rice, flat rice noodles. Char is anything that's fried in a wok, like really hot wok.
Okay.
In Thailand, you've got
we call
pasiu.
Yeah, I saw that.
Very, very similar.
So I can say that almost same thing, chef, but just different name.
Ingredients?
Ingredients very similar.
So like here you call hor fun.
Sorry?
Hor fun.
Hor fun.
Hor fun, yeah. So in Indian they call hor fun. So same thing.
Really?
Yeah, chef. So char kway teow hor fun. So I have one the very my favorite Chinese restaurant here. So they have that.
Yeah.
So
similar ingredients, but you know, like in Thailand, say for example, like they use more fish sauce. In Malaysia, you really don't have fish sauce. You use soy sauce.
Correct.
That's the
is
little minor differences.
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah.
So what could you elaborate on, like exactly what sort of differs? It like, do you guys like you must be also very you've explored cooking Thai food, or have you just consumed it, or do you cook Thai food ever?
Yeah, I cook Thai food. Yeah, I mean, I cook Thai food. I've been to Thailand many times. I love Thai food. In fact, it's one of my favorites. Like, because it's just so similar. Like, you know, the use of like say tom yum, like they use tamarind a lot and like sourness. Like I do that in a lot of my cooking as well. So I can relate to it. I may not necessarily have been brought up, you know, cooking Thai food, but I get it. Like I understand the flavors.
Thai food now become basic of the all the chef, right? Chef?
Thai food is so big everywhere.
I mean, everyone, all the chef, and everyone that love the Thai food. So of course they try to make by themselves. So they did that. That's why chefs say now the Thai food is worldwide.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. But you know, you're cooking here for the first time, but you have worked. I know you have worked with some restaurants in the past, and you've sort of made food for an Indian audience, and Seefah, of course, has a restaurant here. So, like, as Asian chefs, like, do you face any sort of challenges to make food for a foreign audience? I mean, people say that we want everything authentic, but I mean, there's always that whole thing of tweaking it to sort of the audience you're serving for. So, is that a challenge, or is it a challenge you enjoy, or?
It's definitely a challenge I enjoy. It's not fun when there's not a challenge, right? I think. Yeah. But yes, you are right. I'll give you an example. Like say in India, because it's such an old, it's so old. The food is so, thousands of years old, and everywhere you go in India, every 100 kilometers is different. Yep. So for people to adapt a different style of cooking, let alone a chef from like outside to come in and cook their food, it can be quite daunting. So it's I don't try and reinvent the wheel. I don't try and do something super traditional, but what I can offer is offering something that is a fusion, which is a myriad of different cuisines, or either say for example like using Indian spices but using Australian ingredients, or a different cooking method, Italian cooking method, or a different Southeast Asian style where they're not too unfamiliar with. So to get that audience and to captivate that audience is always a challenge. Also in terms of what they eat, like whether they're vegetarians. There's a lot of vegetarians in India, so you got to consider all that factors.
Right. And what about you, Seefah?
Yes. But I don't have much problem about all ingredient and everything, because of Indian have everything for me. Okay. But problem is how to let people know new dish, like right, green curry, pad thai, som tam, all that. Yeah. But I want to in Thailand not only that what we have. we still have a lot of things and very beautiful things. So I try to make.
Yeah.
So every month I try to do some new
Different.
promotions, and like you see, so to get my staff to learn, to get people to know about the food, So that the thing. But the feedback now coming good, because that if I make like this 2 years back,
Yeah. People will
it will not gonna work. But now that people looking for that.
Yeah.
So next month, Chef, what you doing? So we have the happiness. But some it's not all the day success. Some they suggest us, So okay, so whatever good we keep, whatever not good we keep. We try to understand them as well. We're not like, oh, this it have to be like this. It's not like that.
Right.
But India now have all ingredients for me, so an authentic yes, that I will not try to make. But when I go for house catering, people ask us to do some fusion. We can do that. We working for the chef at a 5-star hotel. Yeah, we can do that as well for the fusion foods. Mix Japanese and Thai together. With ingredients like some Japanese product to make Thai food. Something same like chef said.
Subscribe to Midday India. Get direct notifications on all our videos by clicking on the bell icon.